How's it going, everybody? Doing a 12K subs drinking and rambling vid here today. Thank you to everybody. I hit 12K on June, I think it was overnight, June 2nd. There is these glare, these lines are coming from the light. I think they appear occasionally. I was like flipping the lights up top the last time. I don't even want to deal with it. I'm just going to have to accept that it's there. I don't want to go nuts. It's not that big of a bother, but sometimes when I see it, it just annoys me. But anyway, thank you to everybody. Hopefully I don't drop. I think I'm at 12,010 now. Yesterday I was bouncing back and forth, losing. I'm gaining, lose, gain. Anybody who makes vids has seen this happen on their channel, I'm sure. Up, down, on the subs. Like, for some reason, I don't know. Anyway, thank you to everybody. New subs, old subs, all subs. Thank you, everybody, for everything. Anybody who's ever done anything for my channel, even if you just watched a video and enjoyed it, it all makes it worth it. I want to say thank you to everybody, who's enjoyed my vids over the years. I believe it's my 7th year of making these ASMR videos. It is. I've said this a million times. It's not my 7th year of making YouTube videos. I made my first YouTube videos back in 2009. But yeah, I've got 3 blue points. There's 2 here. I might get to the 3rd one. I don't know. This is a local brewery on Long Island. I believe they're in Patchogue. Yes. And Patchogue and Baldwinsville. I don't know where that is, if that's on the island or if that's upstate. This is pretty good beer, actually. I'm sure I've had this in the past. And they're not far from here. They're like maybe a 15-minute drive to there from where I'm at. But I had these last weekend at a restaurant, and I'm like, this is really good. Like, I'm not a beer expert. I'm not, I'll drink any beer. I don't give a shit if it's low-level stuff or high-level stuff. I don't care. Usually I'm just drinking to get a buzz going, and feel a little different for an hour or two, right? But this is actually pretty good. I like this. This has got I was established in 98. Yeah, they have not been around a while. Their brewery is right on Montauk Highway. I'm pretty sure the one in Patchogue is. There are breweries all over Long Island these days. So I know that. I know the new ones now because at the print shop, they'll print shirts for me where I work. They'll do shirts for these breweries. Oceanside, Huntington, Long Beach. There was some, I forget where this place was. I can't remember. It was somewhere on the North Shore, I believe. Anyway, let me get into these. I should have brought a glass, because they don't make bottles for these. At least when I got them in the restaurant, they poured it into a glass. They only had the cans. And when I got them in the supermarket, they only had the cans. So I don't know if Blue Point makes bottles. They just go with the cans, and it's meant to be poured into a cup or a glass or whatever. But I forgot to bring one up, and I just thought about it again now. Whatever. That's good, though. I can't tell you the words people use in describing beer or any kind of alcohol for that matter. I just know it tastes pretty good. Unfortunately, it's not a hot day today. I'm inside anyway, but it was like, I thought summer was here, even though it's not until the end of this month, but it was like mid-80s, 2 days in a row. I was like, here we go, and then it was like down to the 60s. They have a couple other ones too. Actually, you know what? I don't think I've had their toasted lager. I've had some of their other flavors. They have other ones as well. I think one of theirs is Optical Illusion, or maybe that's another company. I think it's theirs, though. I've had 1 or 2 of theirs, and I think they may have been at the, one of the cider festivals we went to, some beer places. Some beer companies will be there as well. I remember I had like Long Ireland. They were pretty good. I think Blue Point might have been there with that Optical Illusion, or that had to have been them. I gotta go look when I'm in the supermarket again, because it's in the supermarket, but I don't know whose it is. They have a blueberry one as well, I believe, that I might have had. This is toasted lager, and that usually means that they have to put the beer cans in a specific toaster that you put beers in, like you put bread in, and then it toasts it and comes out. That'd be funny if that's actually how it was made. It was pretty good. This is 5.5% alcohol. I know for people in Europe and elsewhere, I know, it's not strong alcohol content. That's why it's funny when people be like, oh, you drink wine, I drink beers. It's like, the wine's stronger than the beer, right? I don't care, though. Like I said, I'm usually drinking stuff for a buzz. I do like the taste of a lot of wines. And the hard ciders, I like the taste of a lot of this. Like, legitimately like drinking those. And there's some beers now I've grown to enjoy, like this one. I like Samuel Adams. Blue Moon's pretty good. I'll drink the Miller Lights, but they're not necessarily like the greatest tasting, but they're cheaper, and I'll drink. Like I said, it doesn't matter. Beer for me, it doesn't matter. Yingling, I enjoy, and those are the beers. Oh, you know what I really like? I like the Line and Google. The Summer Shandy is really good. I was gonna get that yesterday, but I got these instead because I saw them there. I remember I had them a week before, but. Used to have the back in the day when we were in high school. There was, of course, everybody had a freaking. This place is long gone, but there's always places you can find that would sell alcohol to whoever. Really stupid when you think about it, obviously. But we'd get our beers and you get the 40s. I remember Old English 40. The Colt 45s would make 45-ounce ones. There was Country Club, which I don't know if this is a known one. There's Old English Country Club. Crazy Horse, I believe. And like I said, Colt 45. There's other companies too, but I remember the Country Club stuff was like $1.50 or $40. I remember this back in like 96, 95, 96, 97. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, but it was $1.50, and you would just pound it and not think about the taste, and then just freaking get rid of it. It was. We're gonna walk for 4.5 hours this weekend. Today's Sunday. Is going up Sunday today, June 4th. I had to look at my laptop there. I was going to say 3rd. I had enough. There was 6 garage sales on one block today. Specifically today, but there was nothing doing it anyway. The closest I saw to a video game was a charger. I think it was for a DS or a DS Lite. Or one of them more. I can't even say that anymore. The 3DS is old at this point. And they don't even make new games for the 3DS, do they? It's crazy. But I was walking. I'm going to go into a tangent on that in a minute. But, 4.5 hours. I did 2.5 yesterday, 2 today. I was even feeling it. I was going to ride my bike today, but like I said, it was like high 50s when I left the house. And I was like, I don't want the wind hitting my face. I can't handle it. I'm getting too old. I will ride more, though, because you can cover more ground faster. But nothing doing. There was a little drone. That's what they call them, right? The drone, little drone things. It was like $30. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say about Nintendo. Like, I don't think they make anything for 3DS anymore. And I had the 2DS. Obviously, it plays 3DS games. It was just their cheaper model. I like the look of it, even though it didn't close. I had it for a bit. I shouldn't have got rid of it, but I did. But with handhelds, I don't play them a ton. Even the Vita, like I would go through moments of playing a ton of Vita, and then I won't touch it for months. So, but they have so many cool games on them. But like I said, the Switch came out, and the Switch is like their handheld and home console, and also a handheld. And they kind of like, oh, 3DS, you're done. We don't care anymore. Now, granted, the Switch is 6 years old now, which is nuts. But that became their handheld as well as their, their TV console also. So 3DS they almost kind of screwed themselves because I feel like, well, here's the better thing now, right? The 3DS had the 2DS had a small screen. I know the original 3DS had a pretty decent one, and then they make the XL versions of these things. But, I do like the Switch. I haven't touched that thing in a while, though, either. The only game playing I was doing was playing Wetrix. When I got it, I threw Turok in briefly just to make sure that worked, too. The other game that my fiance ordered me, the Final Fantasy Chronicles, which has PlayStation, has Final Fantasy 4, which was 2, like a remaster, and they threw cutscenes in and added some things. And Chrono Trigger, which I never played. That was a Super Nintendo game as well. And now I have Chrono Cross, which I have not played. I bought that one because it was like $10 for Greatest Hits New on Amazon. I got that like 3 or 4 years ago. actually might have been like $15, but I had like a $5 thing or some shit. I'm like this close now because I want to start playing one of those Final Fantasies that I got the PlayStation ones for my birthday. Just to get back into. I'm like this close to just starting to play older stuff more often. And like I said, that doesn't mean I won't be playing newer things. Eventually I'll get the PS5. I talked about maybe getting it this month, but I'm like, there's no point. I'm not dropping $500 to freaking get like Ratchet and Clank and another game or two. I'm not gonna bother. It's not cost effective for me to do that. But like I'm just getting this urge to just take the PlayStation 2, hook it up, because I gotta play the PS1 games on there as well, and start playing PS2 and PS1 games on there. The problem is I don't have these systems. The Switch, the PS4, and the Xbox One are the ones that hooked up to the TV. I don't have the other ones out. So it's like I can't. There's really no room to put them. That's the problem. So it's hard for me to want to play the older games when I gotta play. I'm into a game. It's like I gotta unhook the system, put it away. I gotta play it again. It's just annoying. So I think there's a spot behind the TV in the living room. I might plop the PS2 down there. The cord for the controller should be long enough to reach the couch. And I'll do that. I guess I want to jump into one of those games. And then I can finally get that Stuntman gameplay up. But yeah, like I said, I was walking for a while. My legs were feeling it today. Even when I went out walking, like 10 minutes into it, I was like, oh man. But then I grabbed myself bacon, egg, and cheese on the way home from Grillies. Let's see if this has changed in, well, not real time, but real time of me making the video, not when it will go up. I'm at 12,010. Did I go down? No, I stayed the same. That garage sale video viewed well, which is always nice to see. We finished the Slasher, that first season of Slasher. It was pretty good. Now we're going to try the second one later today. The first season was pretty cool. A lot of twists and turns. They kind of kept you guessing for a bit. Some of it didn't kind of add up, but it was pretty decent actually for one of those kind of whodunit. And the story was kind of cool, and the branching little stories and the reasons why people were being killed were all interesting. Blue Point. I always get them in Blue Moon confused. Yeah, you have a lot of breweries on Long Island now. They're opening all over the place. I mean, there have been some that have been here. Obviously, this one's been here since '98, but there's been other ones that have been here as well. But obviously, if you go out east, past Riverhead and the North Fork, mainly the North Fork, but the South one as well, they'll have tons of wineries out there. There's tons of them out there. We've gone out there. We haven't gone out there in a bit, but we used to go out there, and maybe once or twice a summer. Just go to like 4 or 5 and just drink some, do the wine tastings. I'm hoping they announce the date for that cider festival soon. We didn't get to go last year because we're in Florida. Lined up like the weekend we were going. It was like, oh man. The Golden Knights won last night. Was that last night? They won 5-2 against the Panthers. We'll see if the Panthers have that. I don't want to say luck, that kind of momentum going still, but Vegas got a good team, man. Vegas, when they come into the league, like 2018, and this is their second finals. Like, you're a fan of these teams, like the Islanders, or, the Winnipeg Jets, even though they went to Atlanta and came back, but some of these other teams, even like the Rangers have popped, they won in 93, 94, but they've gone to, no, they just went to the one final against the Kings. Some of these other teams, I'm a Islander fan, I'm like, man, the Golden Knights are 2 finals in 5 years. The Islanders have had success recently, a couple of conference finals, but they haven't gotten back to the finals since '84. Kind of funny. I think even the Kraken, this is their second year, and they get to the second round. It's kind of nice to see that, though. I know there seems to be, at least when I go on Instagram and stuff, there seems to be a lot of, and in general, there seems to be a lot of people that hate Vegas as a team. I honestly don't know why. I don't care. It seems like in Florida, like neither one of these teams bothers me. Sport fans, team bothers me for no reason. It's like the LeBron Jordan stuff. Like, I'll look up a LeBron thing, and the LeBron fans are all like, yeah, Jordan was shit. He played with plumbers. Shit, they were saying the same thing about guys in the 60s when it was actually kind of true. Some of the guys would work second jobs and stuff. And then the Jordan guys come in, everything. The fans are coming in on both sides yelling at each other, and you're just like, what? They're both phenomenal players, okay? Like Jordan said it best. He's like, I can't call myself the GOAT. There's a GOAT of every era in a way. But these guys didn't play together, so you're never going to know. I will say Jordan's will to win is pretty much unmatched. That guy was a lunatic on the court, and not like it worked in the universe of sports. But that guy is like, you can tell he's just obsessive, you know, like win at all costs type. Kobe Bryant had that as well. There's a reason these guys have 6 rings, 5 rings. Well, he didn't get it. You didn't get that from Tim Duncan, and he has 5. But he was just a phenomenal player, and they just had an excellent team. They were super well coached. I remember like their last title, the one against the Heat, and the year before where Ray Allen hit that shot in Game 6 when all the Heat fans were filing out of the building, and they wouldn't let him back in. That's great. And they ended up coming back and winning in 7. I was like, wow, I was kind of shocked because the Spurs have the team. And then the next year, the Spurs just kind of destroyed them in 5 games, and they played again. Denver's, I think I talked about it. Denver's up briefly. Denver's up 1-0 on the Heat. It's going to be a longer ramble, I think. What was I going to say? That little mark is finally kind of healing that I cut myself shaving. I was going to say something. No, you know, it's like no good movies that I want to see coming out. Besides Indy, and Indy's been getting like, I think it's got like 46 reviews now, it's a 50%. I don't care. Unless that ends up in the 20s, I'm going to enjoy Indiana Jones. I just like the movies. I like the vibe of the Indy movies. I like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull well enough. I've talked about Last Crusade. That is my favorite, almost by far, too. I just love that movie. I've talked about it in my top 5 movies. I love that movie. I actually should have brought him in here today, actually. I got one. I got a second one because one was lost with Amazon, and then it came back. Then it ended up, mysteriously, when I ordered the replacement figure, the second one was on its way to Islip the next day. Like, really, what's the scam here? But I got a Professor Indiana Jones outfit when he's in the sewer with the rats and stuff. He's looking for the other part of the shield. On the night, that figure, he's got like a lantern, he's got the shield stuff. It's cool. I'm like, you know what? I'll keep one. My friend was like, oh, what is that figure? I might buy that other one off, you know. Because he's a big fan of Last Crusade as well. I saw that movie with my one friend in '89. It's actually the only Indiana Jones movie I saw in the theater. I was 10 when that one would have come out. I was 4 when... No, wait. Raiders of the Lost Ark was 83. And then Temple of Doom was 80... I don't know. I don't know the dates. I was old enough to probably go see. When was it 81 or 80 that Raiders of the Lost Ark came out? Like 84 was Temple of Doom. I don't know. I remember the Temple of Doom game I had on the NES. It was kind of annoying, but it had its charm. It was funny back then if you were into video games. There were so many games based on movies, just Indiana Jones, both. Not Raiders of the Lost Ark. That might have been on like the Atari. Temple of Doom, Last Crusade. Then there was RoboCop, Hunt for Red October, Lethal Weapon had a game, Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th. Like, so many. I think there was a Dirty Harry game at one point. Willow, I'm pretty sure had a game. Like, almost every movie that came out was getting a game. It was crazy. Predator, I think there was a game for. Top Gun. There was so many. Like, it was ridiculous. It would have been cool to get a Candyman I should say a Candyman game. It's a great movie. Realistically, if I was doing a top 10, if I was able to come up with the 10 movies definitively, like, I'd say Candyman would probably be my top 7. The remake was cool too, although it was actually a sequel. It wasn't even a remake. I like that one as well, and I like the way they kind of did the story with that one. That's almost different Candymans and stuff, like the Legend Lives On type thing. They're different people. That first one though, with Tony Todd as Candyman was just, oh man, so good. That is such the creepy sound, the creepy main theme. That movie is so good. That movie's so good. That would definitely be my top. I would say that was probably that'd be like 6 or 7, for sure. Maybe if I can come up with a definitive 5, I'll do my top second half, 6 through 10. But that was Candyman's phenomenal, and I like that second one as well. I thought that one was well done, honestly. I think it was the second one. The third one, the second one was Farewell to the Flesh. That one was pretty good. I wasn't that into the third one. I think the third one took place in New Orleans, or maybe the second one did. I want to say maybe like the original story from Candyman, like the background story for Candyman, might have taken place in Louisiana, or maybe it was maybe it was like Georgia. I forget. Was that Clive Barker? I can't remember. Serpent in the Rainbow is another one that's really good. Wait, was Candyman was Clive Barker and not Wes Craven, right? Like Clive Barker, I think actually wrote Candyman. Was it a book? I don't know if he just wrote the screenplay. I forget. I think Wes Craven was Serpent in the Rainbow. That was kind of based on somewhat true stuff. That was another creepy movie, actually. Yeah, love horror movies. I love that. I just those kind of thrillers and stuff. I could watch that shit all day. And now these documentaries, like documentaries on like UFOs and Bigfoot. And I'm not even like UFOs. I'm always into, but like, Bigfoot's not really my thing. But ghost stuff too. I could just watch those things all the time. Like the Bridgewater Triangle in like Massachusetts, and like all the weird stuff that happens. I could watch that stuff all the time. Urban legend type stuff. That's why I listen to the creepy stories here on YouTube. People's creepy stories, true or not. I don't know. I like listening to them. Some legitimately, you're like, whoa. And other ones, you kind of like, man. My fiance wanted to watch the Book Club 2. And we watched that Friday. It wasn't that bad. I thought it was decent. It had its funny moments. It's got Diane Keaton, Candace Bergen, Mary Steenburgen. Is that how you say her name? And why can't I? Jane Fonda. It was pretty decent. It had its moments. But there's nothing. I don't know. That Boogeyman movie's reviewing okay. The new Insidious looks pretty good. I think that comes out in July. The new Mission Impossible should be good as well. I was reading something briefly on Instagram. I don't know if this is actually true. Probably isn't. But like Tom Cruise is trying to like lobby movie theaters to like take Oppenheimer out. It's like, what do you got? Some kind of fear that it's going to outgrow your movie or something. Like, it's kind of funny. Yeah. I gotta go to the supermarket tomorrow, so you might see another supermarket haul fit soon. Gotta get some stuff for the week. I have to do another trigger word video. I haven't done one of those in a long time. This new Amityville movie. It's new. I think it's a Tubi original. It's on Tubi. I gotta do soon at some point. I say soon, but 6 months from now. You know, I was doing like the person had the request for the browsing PlayStation store, and then I did the Netflix one. I might do the Xbox store one next, but I gotta do Tubi and just go to the like 50 Amityville movies they have on there. It's ridiculous. Like Amityville Shark, Amityville in Space, like Amityville Karen is one. Like, what the hell are they doing? So once in another week or two, it's going to be only baseball up until football starts in September. You're going to get through the what do they call them? The dog days of summer, which is just baseball. The Mets have they just lost their last two to the Blue Jays tight games. Bassett, the former Met for a year, has been ripping it up on the Blue Jays. The Pirates are back over 500. They were like 20-8, and then all of a sudden they were like, now I think they're 30-27. So they're 10 and 19 now. Is that what that is? Something like that. I like to see teams like that do well. It's not going to happen for Oakland, and they're going to be in Vegas soon too, apparently. Isn't that crazy? Like Vegas. I always felt like they were afraid to put teams in Vegas because of the whole freaking, gambling aspect or whatever. But now I think they do a lot of the gambling legally now on the games in most states. But they had no teams, and now all of a sudden they've got the Raiders, they've got the Golden Knights, and they soon are gonna have the A's. Like what? You go from no teams to 3 teams in a matter of like 6 years. That's pretty impressive. I know they wanted. I think Phoenix might move the Coyotes, Arizona Coyotes. Is it Phoenix? No, it's Arizona, right? Who knows where they might end up? There's places you feel like you should totally have, like especially when it comes to hockey. There's like so many cities where like, yo, they should have a team, Like when Minnesota left briefly, and then they ended up getting the Wild, when they moved to Dallas, and then they got the Wild. Like, there's got to be a team in Minnesota. It just makes sense to have a hockey team in Minnesota, right? And even Ohio has one. It's surprising that like Cincinnati or Cleveland doesn't have one, and Columbus. And Columbus is their capital. I don't know what their biggest city is out of those 3, but I guess it made sense for one of those. I'm surprised Cincinnati or Cleveland didn't have a hockey team like well before. I'm surprised like there's not a team in like Portland, Maine, even though that's real up there and kind of out of the way. Although you have Quebec is not there anymore. They'd still be fairly close to like Boston and Montreal and stuff like that, even the Islanders and the Rangers and stuff. Somewhere like that, or like I don't know, New Hampshire and Vermont's big cities are, but like it would make sense too, right? That's why it was cool when Hartford was in Connecticut. The Hartford had the Whalers. It's a cool logo. Hockey will start up again soon enough. That's the thing. It's like these sports end, and then like 3 months later, they're ready to go. And then football will start up again. And you have that brief moment where you typically have. Well, you definitely have the 3 sports for a while, but there's like that brief moment where you have football, baseball. I think hockey comes in as baseball is kind of ending the World Series. Because hockey, definitely, because hockey starts early October, and basketball usually starts at the tail end of October. Do you ever get all 4? I can't remember how long the World Series goes. If it's just like mid-October, or if it's done by early October, I don't even know anymore. I remember the strike season in '94. I remember we did a base. That's the first time I ever did like a fantasy team draft, and it was a baseball draft. I think I was in 9th grade. No. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I would have been going into 10th, right? 94. season would have started when I was finishing ninth, and then summer. But we ended up doing the draft for that, and then the strike started in like October. I think it was like 111 games in, which is so crazy that their strike happened like 2/3 through the season. The lost season, the Expos were great that year too. I missed the Expos; they had great uniforms, and the logo was really cool. Baseball has a lot of cool logos and uniforms, like the Royals powder blue uniform. I think I thought that's the Blue Jays and stuff. All the teams with the pinstripes. A lot of teams have them. Cubs, Mets, Yankees, other teams. I can't think of. Are there other teams? Maybe there aren't. It's just the Cubs. Yeah. If Denver wins the NBA title this year, they would have they had a couple titles recently. They had the Avalanche won it 2 years ago, or the last year they won it. They'll be not a defending doing that. They got knocked in. Who knocked them out? Oh, the Kraken knocked them out, right? We shall see how it goes. Yeah, like I said, more videos to come. Here's the road to. Cheers to all of you guys, all the subs. Thank you again. The road to 13,000 begins. Unless they knock me back under 12, and then I look like an idiot. But what are you gonna do? We'll see what happens. Yeah. I'll finish this one up and then end this. We're past half an hour. I don't feel like drinking a third. I'm getting full from these things. But yeah, I'll probably do I might do an eating pizza video today as well for tomorrow. I don't know yet. Like I said, my plans constantly change. It's the nature of how I make videos, I guess. But yeah, that's just a 12,000 subs. I was gonna say thubs. What's a thub? 12,000 subs.